Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Daily Crypto News. And the question of today is right now, are you holding any XRP? Let me know in the comment section down below if you are or if you are not. And also, please support the channel by pressing the like button and subscribing. Helps me out a ton and puts a smile on my face. So, the first article of today is actually a really interesting one. I gotta be honest with you. It reads, Ripple reveals which countries really support Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP in key remittance markets. So scrolling through a little bit, it's actually talking about the last mile playbook, which Ripple uploaded a little while ago. And to quote, today, countries around the world are addressing the frictions inherent in the last mile by upgrading and modernizing their domestic payment schemes. Out of the 195 countries, there are now over 54 real-time payment schemes developed and many more in development globally. These new systems enable real-time settlement of low-value payments and rich data transfer. Going a little bit further, you can see they're talking about a couple of different countries and what their stance is on Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP. But I personally think we can skip the United States, Mexico, and Australia just because we've covered them so much in the last couple of days. And I believe that because of ODL, the status is already quite good, right? We all understand what's going on there, so there's not really much questioning. However, countries like Argentina are ones we've really not talked about as often, so that's why I thought it would be pretty interesting. For Argentina, there's no specific classification of digital assets. FX regulations limit purchase of digital assets via credit or debit card and must transfer funds to exchange account through non-card payment rails. Exchanges are not subject to licensure or registration, currently not subject to anti-money laundering regimes, but likely to change soon. And foreign exchange laws and currency control are a potential hurdle. Colombia. Although Colombia's central bank has issued public remarks recognizing digital assets and warning people against the risks, financial watchdogs have not yet taken an official position or adopted any specific regulatory framework, and banks are largely blocked from providing services to digital asset companies. So, I actually handpicked those two here out of all of them because it's actually to show you guys a little bit of a contrast here. A lot of countries in the world right now are kind of in an uncertain period, right? We all know that. However, one thing, this regulatory clarification or regulatory framework that is being set up right now could change so much of the game. I've told you guys before, and I will tell you guys again, I believe that this is being delayed just for the sake of delaying it. A lot of countries are waiting a very, very long time to get crypto adopted or crypto allowed just because they can and they do not want to lose the control. They just want to extend it as far as possible until it's really inevitable. Or when the benefits are just that great for them specifically, the government specifically, that they have no other choice. But as we are speaking right now, they do not have those reasons. They do not have the biggest incentives to switch over and accept it. So why not block it then, since you're kind of pushing away a little bit of the authority? And I'm personally very much of the opinion that if Bitcoin slash crypto were to become globally popular, people would at one point in the future not have to rely so much on these Federal Reserves and the ECB and whatnot. I definitely think so because, well, if they really mess us up, we can just skip out. We can just hop on out of there, which is something I find really interesting. And as I just said, I'm trying to draft or draw a contrast here, and that is that a lot of these countries that are looking, pretty advanced in crypto might actually not be as much. So Colombia here, I actually personally thought they were, all the way through with crypto, just accepting it all. But hearing then that they're largely blocking these digital asset companies, that's really interesting for me to hear. And that's actually the way for a lot more countries right now going on. All these countries are just so early into the development that there's not that many rules, not that much AML or any of those things going on quite yet, and it's going to be taking some time to hop on. But that's also another reason why I believe that Ripple has not gotten into as many corridors as we sometimes question or wonder about. It's not because they can't or they don't have the connections and they don't want to or anything like that. It's really just because the countries are not ready for these rails. The countries are not ready to accept slash move on to this newer level of payments. And I think it's a waiting game, but it's not Ripple's fault. And that's kind of what I got into my head after reading this all, and I want to give you guys a little bit of those thoughts as well. Stack Sats. Bitcoin figure tells Europe and ECB prepares $1.5 trillion bailout. So personally, again, not a very big fan of all of this. Another day, another $1 trillion. The ECB has announced it will double its CV purchase program to $1.35 trillion to dismay of Bitcoin proponents. Damn. In a press release on June 4th, the ECB became the latest central bank to up its controversial response to CV, adding $600 billion to the so-called Pandemic Emergency Purchase Program. Not happy with that, but whatever, guys. You got to keep these businesses afloat as well, which I understand, but it's kind of difficult to see exactly what we should accept. All right, I saw a little bit about a token hopping up here as well. I didn't read too far into it, but amid all of this controversy that's going on right now, someone has decided to take his chances and monetize the unrest, creating a cryptocurrency called George Floyd token. So, I find it quite interesting that this is going on. I don't really know if he's trying to make money by pushing this coin upon people, or if he's trying to scam people in another easier way. I really don't know what he's going to do or trying to do, but the name is getting a lot of attention, so maybe he's trying to lure people into buying it. I don't know. Rich Dad, Poor Dad author claims, or again, admits that he loves Bitcoin once more. And he says that you should invest only in what you love, and in this case, for him, it is Bitcoin, so, invest in it, which I get, but it's not my personal preference to kind of try to convince people in his sense. He says, economy dying, and this is actually already a couple weeks ago, economy dying, Fed incompetent, next bailout, trillions in pensions, hope fading, bought more gold, silver, Bitcoin, gold at $1,700, predict 3,000 in 1 year, silver $17, predict 40 in 5 years, Bitcoin 9,800, predict 75,000 in 3 years, pray for the best, prepare for the worst. And he's going on with some more rants every so often, just with some talks, but I don't think there's any new update, even though it's kind of looking like it. He's just, again, shouting the same type of scenarios and things, is that Bitcoin is going to be really, really good together with the Edel, or how do you say that in English? The metals, the eight Edel. I don't know what it's called in English, but then the metals like gold and silver and whatnot. Yeah, those are going to be fine because the US dollar is kind of going to crumble. Stellar could soon increase by more than 50%. The closest resistance and support area for XLM are found at 900 and 720 Satoshi respectively. A golden cross has transpired in the daily time frame. If XLM to USD breaks out of the current resistance level, it could increase all the way to 15 cents. Again, that stuff is actually crazy if you think about it as well, guys. 15 cents for XLM. Wow, right? And here we're actually talking about some other interesting stuff. Posty XBT, Posty Bitcoin said, XLM daily chart could be offering ridiculously good RRIF resistance, if resistance can be flipped. Not the cleanest of ranges, but price has been down here in this 60% range for almost 1 year now. First target plus 75%. A little bit more, but I personally am not that guy, as you guys know. I don't like to talk about prices so much, so I'm going to skip it. Traders expect Bitcoin to set fresh lows in 2020. Here are some factors to watch for. Bitcoin saw some intense volatility earlier this month that caused it to dip as low as $9,400 before rebounding. It now appears that the crypto is once again caught within its long-held consolidation phase around $9,600. Analysts do remain largely bearish on the crypto, however, as multiple are noting that Bitcoin could now set fresh yearly lows as it flashes some signs of technical weakness. XRP's 3-month consolidation nears its end. Actually, a lot of people referred me to this article and told me to read it and check it out. Personally, again, I don't think it's too important to go for. However, if you're actively trying to trade, this might help you out. Conclusion, however, since it is a symmetrical triangle they're talking about above, the breakout has a 50-50 chance of breaking either way. which is something I point out to you guys all the time. Whenever there's an analysis, it's a 50-50, right? And it's very sometimes is it like a 60% chance. For example, when you have a golden cross, I would say you might be able to take your odds. However, most of the time it's still a 50-50, even though usually it goes to one side, which is again why I really doubt that you'll be consistent with these predictions, at least these predictions these guys are making. Is there money to be made in trading? Yes, definitely so. Do these predictions work that they're doing on these websites? Most of the time, no. However, they're giving you an indication of what people are thinking and what people are speculating about, which sometimes is helpful. Hence, assuming that price breaks downward, causing stochastic RSI to further explore the oversold zone, the targets include 18.92 and 19.8 cents. Crypto market news. Bitcoin is stuttering towards 10K and much more. Crypto sentiment improved on Thursday as most of the majors trade higher. OKX launches Ethereum options with EOS options to come. Grayscale's Ethereum Trust Fund showing increasing institutional interest in Ethereum. And the Bitfinex and Tether trial continues with a new edition of Poloniex. Bitcoin eyes another price breakout, altcoins gain momentum. So yeah, that's actually speaking for itself, but again, it's actually more so interesting how Cardano has been moving as they've been breaking through like crazy, which is the biggest altcoin rising right now. And actually, I think that's going to be the conclusion of today's video. I wanted to cover a couple more details today, but I'm like, let's skip it for now. This is the most important stuff that you guys needed to know about. Hopefully you got all your info. Hopefully you've stored it well in your head. And I'll see you guys again in another crypto video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, guys. I got a lot of really cool things coming up. But I'm also wondering what you guys really like to see. You know, in terms of coins, I know, but would you also like some trading guides and all that type of stuff? Would you like more action on the Facebook group or on Discord? Let me know in the comment section down below. See you guys again in another crypto video.